I caught my cheating wife in his arms. I walked away, and that's when everything crashed down. The night I caught my wife in his arms, the world didn't explode like in the movies. It just went silent. No shouting, no glass breaking, no grand confrontation. Just a quiet kind of destruction that starts inside your chest and spreads outward, burning slow. It was raining that night, the kind of cold drizzle that made city lights smear across wet asphalt. I'd left the office early, thinking I'd surprise her with takeout from her favorite Thai place. She texted earlier, saying she had to stay late to finish up a client proposal with her boss, Ryan. Ryan, the man she'd mentioned one too many times. The mentor who was married, charming, and just a little too present in our conversations. When I pulled up to her office, her floor was still lit. I remember glancing up through the glass, the rain running down my windshield, and seeing two silhouettes. Her hand on his chest, his arms around her waist. That was it. That one image burned itself into my mind like a scar. I didn't go in. I didn't shout her name or make a scene. I just watched for a few seconds, then turned my car around and drove off into the dark. My dinner sat untouched on the passenger seat, the smell of lemongrass and betrayal filling the car. The next morning, she came home, pretending everything was fine. "Morning, babe," she said, like the world hadn't just shifted on its axis. I didn't look up from my coffee. "You get a lot of work done last night?" She hesitated, just a beat too long. "Yeah, Ryan and I had to finalize a few details. It got late." I nodded, pretending to believe her. She smiled and walked toward me, leaning down to kiss my cheek. That's when I smelled it. A faint trace of his cologne. Not mine. His. Something inside me went still. That was the moment I decided. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to beg. I was going to let her destroy herself, piece by piece.
Over the next few weeks, I played the part of the clueless husband. Smiles, small talk, date nights. I gave her every opportunity to dig her own grave deeper. Meanwhile, I began collecting things, quietly, methodically. Emails left open on her laptop, a hotel receipt hidden in the trash, texts that were supposed to be deleted, pictures of them together at a conference 2 states away, a business trip she swore was all work. Every detail went into a folder on my drive labeled Project Phoenix. She had no idea I knew. The breaking point came one night when she came home late again, hair messy, lipstick faded, pretending exhaustion. "You look tired," I said softly. "Yeah, long night," she murmured, hanging her coat. I smiled faintly. "I bet Ryan keeps you busy." Her eyes darted to me, a flicker of guilt in them. "Don't start, please. He's my boss. You're being paranoid." I nodded. "You're right. I trust you." Those 3 words cut deeper than any accusation could. A week later, she left for another conference. I already knew the hotel, the room, the schedule. Instead of confronting her, I made a few calls, first to HR at her company, then to Ryan's wife, Melissa. I didn't give details. I just sent the proof. Screenshots, emails, timestamps. Cold, irrefutable truth. By the time she got back, the storm had already started brewing. The day everything collapsed started with a knock on our door. 2 men in suits, HR representatives. "Mrs. Turner," one asked, "we need to speak with you privately." Her face drained of color. She glanced at me. I just sipped my coffee. They handed her a letter. "You're being placed on immediate suspension pending investigation into conduct violations." She turned to me, panic rising. "You did this, didn't you?" I set the cup down. "No, you did." Over the next week, her life unraveled in slow motion. Ryan was terminated for misconduct. His wife filed for divorce within days. Clara, my Clara, became office gossip, the kind of scandal people whisper about in hallways and group chats. She tried to talk to me then, tears and apologies spilling out in the kitchen. "It was a mistake," she sobbed. "I didn't mean to hurt you. I got lost." I stared at her, calm.
You didn't get lost. You took a map and drove straight into it. I love you, she whispered. No, I said quietly. You love the idea of me forgiving you. She begged me to stay. I didn't. I packed a suitcase and left that night, renting a small apartment across town. The silence there was heavy, but peaceful. Days turned into weeks. I focused on my work, my health, and rebuilding the parts of myself she'd eroded. Then, one afternoon, I got a call from Ryan's ex-wife, Melissa. I just wanted to thank you, she said. You saved me years of lies. We talked for a long time about betrayal, healing, the quiet satisfaction of truth coming out. Eventually, we met for coffee, then lunch, then dinner. Funny how two broken people can find something whole together. Months passed. Clara's company fired her officially after the investigation concluded. Her name circulated through the industry like a warning. No one wanted to hire her. She tried reaching out again. Emails, voicemails, handwritten letters on tear-stained paper. I miss you, one read. I've lost everything. Please, can we talk? I didn't respond. Sometimes revenge doesn't need fire or fury. Sometimes it's just silence, the kind that lets guilt echo loud enough to drown them. Almost a year later, I ran into her at a grocery store. She looked smaller somehow, thinner, worn down, eyes rimmed with red. She froze when she saw me. Ethan, she whispered. Clara. You look good. Her voice cracked on the last word. I am. She tried to smile. I've been seeing a therapist, trying to fix things. That's good. She nodded, eyes glistening. Do you ever think about us? I looked at her for a long moment. No. I think about the man I used to be when I loved you, and I'm glad he's gone. Her lip trembled. I made a mistake. I tilted my head. No, Clara, you made a decision. Mistakes are accidents. What you did was deliberate. And then, just like that night outside her office, I turned and walked away. A few months later, I got a call from Melissa again. She'd started a small marketing firm of her own, independent, clean, transparent. She wanted me to consult on her tech infrastructure. Working with her felt natural, easy, real. Sometimes we talk late into the night, not about our exes, but about resilience, about how betrayal teaches you more about loyalty than love ever does. One night, as we watched the city lights flicker through her window, she asked, "Do you ever regret what you did, exposing them?" I thought about it, about the pain, the silence, the wreckage. No, I said finally. I regret trusting someone who didn't deserve it, but I don't regret giving them what they earned. She smiled softly. Justice served cold, huh? I raised my glass. The best kind. A year to the day since I caught Clara in Ryan's arms, I stood by the window of my new apartment, the one I shared now with Melissa. The city hummed below, alive and indifferent. I thought about how different everything looked from this side of the storm. People think revenge is about rage. It's not. It's about clarity. The moment you stop letting someone else's choices define your peace. Clara lost everything trying to chase excitement. I found everything by letting go. So if you ever find yourself standing in the rain, staring through a window at the person who betrayed you, remember this. You don't need to burn their world down. Just walk away. The fire will follow them.